Okay, so this one I'm actually going to try and wing it. So we'll see how this goes. Um, so this one was more general. We were just supposed to discuss how the authors are discussing things like masculinity, gender roles, femininity, and class structure. So we'll just go right into it. The first one I want to discuss is where are you going? Where have you been? This one I thought was interesting because we'll go into the gender roles here. I felt like it was a good example of extremes. You have one, which is Connie, who is, I guess, the epitome of what feminism is supposed to be. I guess not feminism, femininity is supposed to be. It's supposed to be talking cute and looking cute and wearing cute clothes. Um, and really, it's just petty. She's superficial. She's two-faced. And she downs, though. She's almost jealous, even of her sister, who, even though she views as plain, um, because she is accomplished. She actually is doing stuff. So you have that side. And then you have the other side, which is the very extreme on the other side for the masculinity, which what I wouldn't call masculinity. What Arnold Friend is, the main antagonist, is the predator. He sees Connie. He says, I'm going to get you, baby, with a little X. Sees her, stalks her, and basically rapes her in the end. So you really have the two extremes in this. There's that. And then as far as class structure, I didn't really see a whole lot for this one. That really wasn't what the main thing was about. It was about the gender roles. It was about the superficial pettiness of one side and the extreme predatory nature of the other side. That's not masculine. That's gross. So, next one. The next one I want to talk about is the yellow wallpaper. That one I felt did a good job of discussing gender roles as well, because of the fact that back then they just viewed women as having like basically just hysteria for like no reason, and then their cure was rest. And so basically in this story, this woman has postpartum depression. Even though she's the woman and she's supposed to be taking care of the child, they basically put her to rest, and she can't. There's no TV. There's none of that stuff in this day and age. So she's just stuck in this room with this god awful wallpaper, and she goes insane because, and it does do good imagery as well because of the way that the author describes how she starts to see as it gets worse. She starts to see a woman or women behind the wallpaper, and they're trapped and they're shaking to get out, and she almost sees herself as being one of those women and just goes mad at the end, ripping the wallpaper off. So that one does a really good job. There I think is a little bit of class structure in this because she has a little bit, this family must have a little bit more money to have like a maid and that kind of thing, but again, that's not the main part in this story. And then the last one I didn't quite understand. It just might not be my cup of tea, or it just goes over my head, but I read it many, many, many times. What was it? I can't even remember the name of it. Two Small Sized Girls. By Minnie Bruce Pratt. And I really would not have even gotten a gist of what was going on if I didn't read her backstory. It just kind of is all over the place, but I guess the gist of what she's trying to say is that, oh, I don't like this. She really, in this story, from what I feel like, she really hates men, and I can understand a little bit because of the fact that she was denied the right to have custody of her children because she was gay, which I don't think is right. But at the same time, I don't know, it just seems so angry. And you can see that in the imagery as well with the fire and all that stuff. But it really is, I had a hard time following. I had a hard time figuring out who she was discussing. She went from her cousin to her grandmother to a number of things. But if I had to get anything out of this, I guess I would say it's, she said crimes against nature, and I guess that would be it's natural for liking other women or to have different sexual preferences. I guess that could go into gender roles as well, femininity. But yeah, that one I didn't quite get. I would love to hear more about other people who could kind of decipher what is going on in that poem because it did go a little bit over my head. So I look forward to that. And that's it.